Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Zelp and today we are going to play Teamfight Tactics from League of Legends, and I'm going to show you a different build. In our last video, I showed you the summoner build, although we didn't get all the way to the end game and finish our summoner set and we won the game. But I think you got the idea and how I would actually go through getting my summoners. Over here, I'm going to show you a different build, which is the Olaf build. Kind of prioritize on Olaf, which is the champion, and it's Glacia and also Berserk. But although I want to get more on Glacia and Berserker, but I ended up having a huge mix but still win the game. So I wanted to show you guys and give you my thoughts. Now I'm trying something a little bit different here. I'm actually showing you guys a video, a pre-recorded video. And the reason why is because I think this way you can actually go through it a little bit faster. I can actually increase the pace. I can even slow it down to a normal rate. So everything is controlled, and I feel like we can do this a little bit faster. Now I choose the character with the glove. Usually when I start off, I'm not too sure what build I want to go for. I'll take gloves, I'll take belt sometime, spatula, teardrop, because I feel like they can be used quite often by many different type of build. Now from here I actually got 3 free characters from one of the drops, the loots from the minion, and I realized that we have a lot of Glacia here. We have 2, and we also have 2 tanks, which is a warden, and then we also have ocean and also the what do you call Berserker. Now potentially, if you were to play Glacia, Warwick is a Glacia and is also a predator. So that is why when I picked my first hand, I took an extra predator. I took a vampire, which is ocean. Now the summoner is because I really like summoner builds. So I was thinking, if possible, maybe I'll go for a summoner build. But later you'll see that it didn't work out, so I reduced or sold that summoner. Now at this point, I took the main character, the first one, the champion that we got, and sold it because it's worth 2 gold. And by selling it, I'm being able to buy a little bit more characters. Sadly, we don't really have anything that gives us double except for the predator, the range predator that we got. And I feel like by selling her and buying an extra 1 or 2 more characters will actually give us a larger chance of getting something they want. Now in this particular build, I didn't want to play a woodland, so that also makes me feel like it's worth selling that woodland assassin. Okay, now let's fast forward. Let's put it to ×2 speed. So instead of maybe like a 35-minute video, we can actually reduce this to maybe a 15-minute video, hopefully. Okay, at this point, I have, so the bear is actually really good as a starter because the bear has is one of the few champions that has 3 attributes. So it is a Glacia, it's electric, and it's also a berserker. So by playing this guy, I forgot what's his name, but he is Glacia, so this 2 can actually stun. And by playing this other warden, which is electric, now this 2 can actually do bursts of electric, small bursts of electric damage around them. So very quickly, if you look at the side, we already have warden, we have electric, and we also have Glacia, and that kind of helps. It helps to stun them. It helps to do a little bit more damage overall, and at the start at least we are somewhat winning. Okay, I saw another tank that is worth getting, hopefully getting a set, because he does have his ocean. We don't really have any oceans here, but then he's worth getting because if I were to go for an Olaf build, Olaf might be a little bit squishy, and this tank not only can it's a tank, so it doesn't die that quickly, but also he has shields, so potentially being able to protect Olaf. Olaf is a berserker, so he will jump forth and probably get damage in the early games, so that is the reason why. Now I'm just rearranging them based on what I can see, how players are arranging their team and which one is taking too much damage. We are trying to get them all to share the damage so that no one actually died too quickly. Like over here, you can see that the bear died too quickly. I think the bear is called Volley. Yeah, I think it's Volley. So knowing that, maybe I would rearrange them again to try and make it a little bit even, or let the tank a little bit better. Okay, over here I have to pick or decide on something. I kind of want to go for Wally because he is a Glacia, but at the end I went for the bow. Now, if you were to play Olaf, you know that once he starts attacking, he goes really quick, and you want to use that speed, or rather you want to help him gain speed so that he can reach the point where he could keep stunning or permanent stun an enemy. So that's why you need speed. Bow gives you speed. If you have a, well, let's see what we get and what we decided to do before I explain all the weird items. So over here, this time one of our tank died first. I don't think we can make it because this guy just has too many 2-star characters. So we took some damage here. And this is the part where we are kind of losing. Now I do want to point out something. I'm actually playing a way where I'm saving coin. So I did not make a single roll to find things that I want. Instead, actually I don't really remember, but I don't think I also bought any experience. Unless I feel like I need it because my team is too weak, I would. But so far I think I did not buy any experience to gain the extra potential, because if you look over there, you can see that for 2 rounds now, the enemies that we're fighting off is level 5, and I just turned level 5 right now. So at this point, I'm just putting something a little bit stronger, make sure that we win this. So someone on the comments actually told me that the rock, they're actually called Krugs. And for some reason I remember. So yep. So as you can see right now with the current setup, the tank, which is a 2-star, is tanking first, and it's the first one to go, but it's also not, how do I say, the overall team did not die off too quickly, so most of them can still do damage. And I think that is actually something good. We have another hex buff that reappear. It always reappear after the Krugs. So I did not use it, but I think I'm gonna use it in the next round. Okay. So this one is a little bit tough. They are Woodlands. Woodlands has really good initial builds because of the extra character that they can get. If they can get someone to 2-star and that 2-star got duplicated, it just gets really tough really quick. Okay, right now my video seems to be a little bit laggy. All right, so now I'm still thinking what to get. I took one of the assassin, even though I don't really need it, but I feel like, okay, if I hold it and maybe something pops up. I realized that at this point I already got my Olaf, so I start planning his build and think what good I can do for him. So I want to give him items. The only problem is I don't know what item I should get. I rearranged right now because I want to use the ocean hex buff, but I don't want to make Olaf die too quickly, so I'm pushing them a little bit to the left with the tank, so that hopefully whatever damage is coming from the left will be tanked by the tanks instead of the berserkers. Okay, now I went for the spatula. Reason being is if it's possible and I get another spatula, I can put more players out in the field, because my hand is kind of full and we don't really have the luck to be getting the things that we want. So I feel like if we can have an extra slot in the field, we can actually have more chances of getting something that we want. At this point, you can see that we have another sort of trade or passive, which is Berserker. Now the way Berserker works is that there is, I think, a 45% chance for you to do a cone light AoE for Berserkers in front of them. So the damage. So basically Olaf is a Berserker. So there's a 45% chance where when he attack, is actually going to deal AoE damage in front of him in the shape of a cone. So that's really good because I believe the stun actually works with the cone as well. And also I think Berserker may actually be a good way to anti-summoners where there are so many creeps and it kind of overwhelms you, like how I showed in the last video. So if you have a bunch of Berserker, each one doing AoE damage, you can clear the creeps really quickly. So potentially a really good way to anti. Now the wolves are assassin based, so they'll jump forward. If I do not pack them up like this right now, what I'm doing, they were probably gonna get my Olaf and my bear to die really easily. So by doing what I just did, we managed to allow Olaf to attack a little bit before dying. Jack over here is also kind of like just there for protection. I think eventually I might actually remove Jack because Jack is a berserker and he's probably one of the better surviving berserker that we have because of his ability. When he uses ability over here, if you look at him, so he starts spinning, and during that spin, I believe basic attacks can hit him, but I think spells still could, and then after that he stuns them. So he survived while he's spinning, and when he stunned the enemy, he survived as well because they can't attack. So I feel like Jack is actually a really good character to have. Now at this point I have maximum interest, and I can start rolling a little bit better and a little bit faster. I decided to remove my Warwick, and by doing so, that kind of means that I'm no longer going to go for the Predator build, and also I may have problem getting to Glacia level 2, the trait. But that is the thought that I went through. So I finally gave Olaf an item, and I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if we can play that again, and also in normal speed. So with that item, he can start off attacking really quickly. Look at the damage that he's doing. He's starting off really slow, but the moment he turned berserk and start whacking, you can see that this guy at the back is actually dying and getting stunned because of Olaf. And I think Olaf is also doing some damage to this tank. I'm not really sure, but you can see that he is pretty much owning this. And even though just now it was a 4v2 and Olaf is just a 1-star, but he absolutely owned and destroyed him. So that is one of the reasons why Olaf is quite a popular character to be building around, and also why I want to showcase this build, because it is really interesting and really strong. Now at this point, once you have some Glacia trades, so that you can use your Olaf to stun, and you have Berserk so you can stun in AoE, what you really want, because he is going to be your main DPS, what you really want is to have stronger tank. You can see that early, very early, one of my tank, the one that has electric one, has already died. This one is already dying. This one is also dying. My Olaf is still here. So my tank aren't holding the team that well, and that is one of our main problem. So I need to find ways to increase more tanks, or just so that Olaf can turn berserk and start taking them off one by one, or maybe 2 by 2. Okay, over here I managed to get another spatula, and what this means is 2 spatula we get an extra minion, and that is always good. So go back in. Now I realize that we have Nami at the bottom, so obviously I want her. Let's see, so I gave it to that guy, which is 2-star. We took Nami in, put her at the middle. Nami has AoE stun, okay, and also AoE damage, and that makes it really good, really safe for even for our tanks, because when you AoE stun them, they can't attack, and it's kind of one-sided, you get to attack. Now at this point we are falling off a little bit because again we can't seem to get the things that we want. Everything that comes to us is either 1 by 1 or it just doesn't seem like, looks like my recording is a bit laggy. I find that playing from this particular player, sometimes it just doesn't render the whole thing. So it renders as I play, and sometimes it's just a little bit slow. So you may have to pause here and then just to get it to be working. Now at this point I'm buying experience because my hand is always full, and I keep not getting the things that I want. So I gave an item to Nami. This item helps her gain mana a little bit faster so that she can use her wave a little bit faster. I think the item is called, what is it called? Blade of Shojin or something. So yeah, you can go look it up. It is made with, I think, a sword and a teardrop, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and then we come to this point. I believe I buy everything that I feel like I need. Now there's one thing that a lot of early game or early players may not know is the mystique buff over here at the side, the trade. So it's actually really good because it gives resistance to every single character. This includes my Olaf. So so there you go. By putting her in, we actually gain the mystique trade. Hopefully I can show you what it says. I'm not too sure if I'll actually hover towards it, but if I do, that'll be a good time to show you guys what it does. It basically just gives resistance to every single character, and this means AoE abilities, magicians does not hurt us that much. And you can see we are doing a lot better just because I have this mystique and we don't die that quickly. Now at this point, I'm still rolling, looking for the thing that won. I've already reached level 8. Most of the time when I reach level 8, I kind of stop. Ooh, there's Olaf there. I kind of stop getting experience. The reason why is because the max level they can get to is level 9. And I don't want to reach level 9 so soon and then I don't get any experience anymore from normal games. So by stopping at level 8, I can still slowly progress towards level 9 and I don't have to spend a single gold. It's not a complete waste. So that is basically the idea. So right now I'm trying to find ways to get my current set to a higher rank, either 3 stars or maybe some to a 2-star. That is the main objective. So I'm not really looking for any newer players, even though technically I can, because there are some higher rarity tanks that I can use. But I feel like everything is really good and they kind of fulfill all the traits that you see at the side. We have Glacia, we have Berserk, we have Light, we have Warden, we have Ocean, we have Mystique, we have Electric. So I kind of want to keep my current setup. So I'm rolling as fast as I can, looking for something to just help them level. And I'm just taking things that are similar. So rolling some more, rolling some more. Now at this point, I actually got an item that turns someone into a Blade Master. There you go. I'm a little bit laggy right now, so I'm gonna show you guys over here. This item, it turns someone into a Blade Master. I think I'm gonna use it on my Olaf at the end because I just couldn't get the set or the item that I want for my Olaf. Personally, right now, if I have to choose an item, I'll go for Rapid Fire. The reason why is because Olaf, if he attacks really fast, he can do that permanent stun, and Rapid Fire gives him a lot of attack speed. But Rapid Fire also increases his range. Now the problem with going with this build is you realize that there is a lot of melee in the field. So most of Glacia, if not all, okay, most of it, because I can remember one is not. So most of Glacia champions are melee. Most of the Berserker, okay, all of the Berserker for this one is melee as well. And since the tiles is all like in a hex, if they are all melee and they kind of took out all the space and there's no space, Olaf can't go in to fight. So that's why it's good to have some range and also some melee. By making Olaf use Rapid Fire and gaining an extra range, he becomes somewhat of a range, and therefore he does not need to stand in that hex formation and he could start attacking. And this also means that he is a little bit further away from the enemy and less likely to start tanking damage as well. So Rapid Fire is one of the items that I would like to give him. The other item is the one that he's having right now, which is made by a rod and a bow, if not mistaken. And what that does is that it gives him attack speed as well. Oh, there you go. We level up one of our Mystique characters, and also our Nami. So with a higher level Nami and also a higher level buff or debuff character, it's actually really hard to lose, but I think I do lose in this round. So the reason why I lost this round is because, well, first of all, they are also running a Olaf build, Glacia and Berserker. I don't think they have the traits, but their Olaf is a lot stronger than mine, and also well equipped. He has the lifesteal. So the third item that I would suggest is actually a lifesteal for Olaf. The other reason is because my Nami actually got killed really early in the game by one of the assassins. So what I did here is really, I know that I have to start investing a little bit harder and try to get some of my characters to a 3-star or something. But then again, in that round, they were actually kind of lucky because their assassin, the one that I lost, their assassin came at me at a weird angle. If the assassin came at me at the front, which you'll see later if I remember correctly, I actually start winning because Nami's attack actually stuns the assassin. Okay, so it seems like all other characters, or rather all other players, we are doing quite well with. It's only that one player, and that one player is the last one standing, so we are facing him right now. So I need to find something that could help. I went for the sword. I think I'm going to craft something right now. So I sold it. I decided to go for Lux. We have a level 2 Lux as well. And then we just threw pretty much everything in. Now I gave Olaf that sword because that sword actually has a little bit of attack speed, and I thought that might help. Okay, so this is actually the one with the with the better Olaf, and we somehow managed to win that. I'm again still looking for ways to get better. You can see that I've gone down through my what do you call? If you look at my current goal count, it's actually going down. Usually I like to keep it at 50. So as you can see, 2 times now, the assassin came at me at the front, and that allows me to stun the assassin, which is a 3-star assassin, and win the game. Okay, so that is pretty much it for this. I don't know if you still consider it as a commentary because technically I'm not really playing and talking at the same time, but I am playing over a game, so maybe it's still considered as a commentary. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. I feel like it's a really cool, interesting perspective because of how many trades we managed to get. I do want to go for a pure Olaf build, which is mainly Berserk and also Glacia, and maybe some other stuff that actually helps the overall health of the team. But yeah, I feel like Glacia, if you can get it to at least level 2, that means you need 4 Glacia characters, that would be good. And as for Berserk, I feel like 3 is actually good enough. It gives you a 45% chance, where else if you can get 6, you can get a 100% chance. But to get 6, that means you need a lot of characters which are Berserker, which are all melees on the field. And it's a little bit tougher to get, and by doing so, you also may not get the Glacia that you need to increase the stun chance for Olaf. So maybe one of these days we can actually go for a better recording, which we have a really full-on Olaf build, and also maybe one for our last video, which is a really good summoner build or end game summoner build. But meanwhile, I hope you get the picture of what I'm going for, and hopefully this will help you make your own Olaf build. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Bye bye.